The cold wind howled across the frozen ground of the alien planet. Zerna 4. Snowflakes danced like tiny ghosts, biting at anyone who dared to walk without cover. The sky above was gray, heavy with clouds that looked like they might fall at any moment. Commander Ryan Hawley, a human doctor and ex-soldier, stepped out of his ship wearing his thick medical coat. He had come here to study strange illnesses spreading in the alien settlements, but so far, no one wanted his help. They were afraid of humans, afraid of him. He sighed and looked around. The town was quiet, almost lifeless. Just a few shadowy figures moved between the broken buildings. Then, he heard it. A soft, desperate voice. "Please, please fix my mom." Ryan turned sharply. His eyes scanned the snow until he saw a small shape, half covered in frost, curled up near a metal bench. It was a child. Not human. An alien girl, barely the size of a human 6-year-old. Her skin was pale purple, lips shaking, eyes full of tears. She was holding the hand of a woman lying in the snow. The woman, her mother, was still alive, but her body was shaking badly, violently. Her eyes were closed and her breathing was fast and shallow. Ryan rushed over, kneeling beside them. "I'm a doctor," he said quickly. "Let me help her." The little girl looked up, eyes wide. "They left us," she whispered. "No one wants to touch her," they said. "She's cursed." Ryan ignored the words. He opened his medical scanner and held it over the woman's body. His brow furrowed. "She's burning up." "But it's freezing out here," he said to himself. "Why is her body this hot?" He checked her pulse. Weak, too weak. Her skin was ice cold to the touch, yet the scanner showed internal heat dangerously high. Ryan looked around. Several aliens stood at a distance, watching. No one came closer. No one offered help. Cowards, Ryan thought. He lifted the mother carefully. "Come on," he said to the girl. "Help me. We're taking her inside." The girl stood up, legs shaking, but followed. Back inside the ship, warmth returned. Ryan laid the alien woman on a medical bed. He turned on heaters and began treatment. The machines beeped around him as he injected cooling serum into her veins. The little girl stood nearby, watching with scared eyes. "Will she die?" she asked, voice trembling. Ryan didn't answer right away. He focused on stabilizing the mother's heart rate. Then he spoke softly. "I won't let her die, I promise." The scanner beeped loudly. Red alert. Warning. Unknown biological signature detected. Potential risk to human health. Ryan froze. He looked at the screen. Her blood wasn't normal. It was moving, changing shape. Like it was alive on its own. "What the hell?" he whispered. The girl noticed his fear. "Please don't leave us," she said. Everyone else ran. Ryan took a deep breath. "I'm not like them." He put on protective gloves and began another scan. More strange data showed up. Her cells were mutating fast. Her DNA had human-like parts mixed with something else. "Something engineered. Who are you?" he muttered, looking at the unconscious woman. Suddenly her body shook harder, her back arched. She gasped. Her eyes opened bright blue, glowing. Ryan stepped back. "Hey, it's okay. You're safe." The woman looked around wildly, then at her daughter. "Don't let them take me," she whispered. "Don't let them find me." Then her eyes closed again, and she collapsed. Ryan stared in shock. What did she mean? Who was after her? And what was inside her body? The little girl crawled up beside her mother, holding her tightly. Ryan clenched his fists. Something was very wrong here. This wasn't just a sick patient. This was a secret. A danger. And now, he was involved, but one thing was clear. The child trusted him, and he wouldn't break that. Trust. Not now. Not ever. He looked down at the girl and said, "I'll do everything I can. I won't let your mom go." Outside, the wind howled louder like a warning. But inside the ship, One human and one little alien girl began a fight against time sickness and secrets too dangerous to imagine. Asterisk. The ship lights flickered. Something was wrong. Ryan Holly stood beside the alien woman's bed, watching the screen. Her body was still. Too still. No movement. No breath. Not even a heartbeat. The medical system began to beat faster. Then suddenly, silence. Life signs lost, the ship's AI said. Ryan's heart sank. No. He grabbed the emergency pads and placed them on her chest. Zap. Her body jumped. Still no heartbeat. Zap. Again nothing. He looked at the little girl sitting in the corner, hugging her knees, her big eyes full of fear. Is she ... Is she going to heaven now? Ryan knelt beside her. No, not yet. Not if I can help it. He rushed back to the woman's body and opened a locked cabinet. Inside was a glowing blue injector. Experimental, risky, not fully tested on alien blood. He didn't care. He jabbed the serum into her neck. A few seconds passed. Nothing. Then, gasped. Her body jerked. Her eyes snapped open wide, glowing with bright blue fire. She sucked in a deep breath, like someone rising from deep water. She was alive. Barely. Ryan stepped back. That worked? That actually worked. But her body began to twist. Her fingers bent backward, unnaturally. Bones cracked. Black veins spread across her neck. The girl screamed, "Mom!" The woman turned her head slowly. Her face changed, just for a moment. Her eyes looked hollow, wrong, like something else was inside her. Then she fainted again, collapsing on the bed like a puppet with cut strings. Ryan turned to the ship scanner. "Give me a full blood report." Scanning. "Alert. Biosignal is mutating. Virus unknown. Danger level high." The screen showed a horror. Her blood wasn't just infected. It was fighting back, attacking the medicine. The cells were evolving into something new. "Impossible," Ryan whispered. "This isn't natural." He checked her heart again. It was beating, but it sounded strange, too strong, like it wasn't meant for a body this size. The girl stood beside him. "Is my mom still my mom?" Ryan didn't answer. He couldn't. He looked at the girl and said gently, "What's your name?" The girl wiped her tears. "My name is Leary." "Leary," Ryan said. "I need to know what happened before I found you." Leary looked down. "We were hiding in the outer village. Mom said we couldn't go near the city. She said they'd find us. Then," she started shaking, "people saw her and called her a monster. They threw things at us. We ran. No one helped." She looked up. "Until you did." Ryan felt anger rise in his chest. How could they leave a child like this in the cold? How could they throw away a mother? He turned back to the scanner. The virus was spreading again. Faster now. He needed a solution. Fast. He opened a new file. A classified file. Project Seraph. Old human experiments where soldiers were injected with advanced healing viruses. Some died, some changed, and one escaped. His fingers froze. Her blood looked just like the one from Project Seraph, but how? This woman wasn't human. Ryan leaned closer, staring at her face. "What are you?" Suddenly, the ship's alarm screamed, "Incoming." Vehicle detected. Unauthorized entry. Ryan's blood went cold. He looked at Leary. "Are you expecting anyone?" She shook her head quickly. "We have no one." Ryan checked the screen. A black hovercraft was landing outside. He turned to the door and grabbed his sidearm. Whoever was coming wasn't here to help. And if they came for the mother, they'd have to go through him. He locked the clinic door and stood guard. Outside, snow fell silently. Inside, a human, a child, and a half-dead alien mother waited for whatever nightmare was coming next. The ship was silent, but only for a second. Then came the pounding. Boom. Heavy fists slammed against the clinic door. Something or someone wanted in. Ryan held his blaster tightly, standing between the door and the bed where the alien woman lay. Leary clung to his coat, eyes wide with fear. "They found us," she whispered. "They're here for Mom." Ryan looked at the screen. The scanner showed 5 large figures outside. Not locals. These weren't villagers. They were armored, trained, and carrying weapons. He turned to Leary. "Listen to me. I need you to hide." "Right now," Leary shook her head. "No, I want to stay with her." He knelt down. "If something happens to me, I need you safe. There's a storage hatch under the floor. Climb in. Don't make a sound." Leary's eyes filled with tears. But she nodded. "Promise you'll come get me." "I promise," Ryan said. The pounding stopped. Silenced. Then a voice deep, crackling through a speaker. "Human, hand over the host. You have 30 seconds." Ryan's stomach turned. The host? That wasn't how you talked about a person. He looked at the woman. Her face was pale. Her hands trembled again, but she was breathing. Barely. His thoughts raced. He could open the door, hand her over. Stay out of trouble. She wasn't his species. She wasn't even his responsibility. But then he remembered. Leary, standing in the snow, crying, "Please fix my mom." No one else helped them. Only him. He wasn't going to become like the others. He stood and locked every door on the ship with one press. Override. Defense mode. The lights turned red. The ship sealed itself. Outside, a loud buzz began cutting tools. They were trying to break in. Ryan ran to the console and activated the emergency med system. The AI asked, "Begin experimental treatment. Warning, risk to patient and human." He didn't hesitate. Begin. Robotic arms lowered from the ceiling. They injected nanobots into the woman's bloodstream, tech used only in war. Illegal in most systems, but he had no choice. The woman screamed in pain. Leary, watching from the floor hatch, covered her ears. Ryan stayed beside the bed, holding her hand. "You're not dying," he said. "Not like this." Her body glowed. Faintly, the black veins shrank. Her skin turned less pale. Then suddenly a flash. Images appeared in Ryan's mind, not memories. Visions. He saw a lab. Bright lights. The woman, strapped to a table. Scientists around her, injecting something glowing into her chest. She was crying. Then she escaped. Fire everywhere. Leary in her arms. The vision stopped. Ryan stumbled back, breathing hard. He looked at her. "She's not just infected," he whispered. "She's carrying something alive." Boom! The door cracked. One more hit and they'd be inside. Ryan grabbed his blaster. His voice was calm but cold. "You want her?" he said out loud. "You'll have to go through me." The woman stirred. Lips moved. Ryan leaned closer. She whispered, "Don't let me hurt anyone. If I lose control, promise me you'll stop me." Ryan froze. "What's inside you?" he asked, but she had already passed out again. Crash! The door burst open. Smoke filled the air. Shadows moved through the hallway. Ryan stood tall, blaster raised. Behind him, a half-dead alien woman rested on the bed. Under the floor, a small child held her breath in the dark, and one human made his decision. He would fight, not because he had to, because it was right. Asterisk smoke still hung in the air. Ryan's arms were shaking. His blaster was hot from use. 2 soldiers lay unconscious on the floor of his ship. A third had run, but he knew they would come back. He locked the door again. The room was quiet now. Too quiet. The alien woman lay still, her chest rising slowly. Leary crawled out from the floor hatch, her face pale and her knees shaking. She looked around the smoky hallway. "Are they gone?" Ryan nodded. "For now." She ran to her mother's side and held her hand. "She's warm again," Leary said. "That's good, right?" Ryan didn't answer. His eyes were locked on the medical screen. It showed a strange reading, something he hadn't seen before. Glowing structure inside her blood. Something that wasn't supposed to be there. Computer. He said, show me her cell scan again. The AI obeyed. A 3D image appeared. A blood cell wrapped around a small glowing core. He zoomed in. Inside the core was a human DNA strand. His heart skipped. How is this possible? This alien woman had human genetics inside her. He tapped the screen and compared it with another file. An old secret project called Ghost Seed. A dark experiment from Earth's war days. Engineered viruses, living weapons. It was banned, destroyed, erased from history. Except it was still alive. Inside her. Suddenly, her body jerked. Ryan turned fast. The woman gasped and sat up. Her eyes glowed again, but softer this time, confused, afraid. Where am I? She whispered. Ryan stepped closer. You're safe. For now. You nearly died. She looked down at Leary, who was hugging her tightly. You stayed. The woman whispered. Ryan nodded. I'm not leaving you. She looked at him for a long time. You're human. And yet you helped us. I could ask the same, Ryan said. You're not just alien. There's something in your blood, something created. The woman's eyes filled with tears. I didn't choose this, she said softly. They did this to me. Ryan sat beside the bed. Tell me. She took a deep breath. My name is Kayla. I was part of a peace program. I worked with humans, helped heal soldiers after the war. But one day, they took me. A secret unit. They said they needed my help for a cure. Her hands trembled. They lied. They infected me, said it was for science. That it would help. Save millions, but it wasn't a cure. It was a weapon. Something to grow inside me. To turn me into something else. Ryan's jaw tightened. Ghost Seed, he said quietly. Kayla looked shocked. You know, I read about it in war files. I thought it was destroyed. They thought I was destroyed too, she said. Bitterly, but I escaped. I took Leary and ran. We've been hiding ever since. Ryan stared at her glowing veins. It's changing you. I saw you when you woke up. For a second, it was like you weren't even you. Kayla looked down, ashamed. Sometimes, I black out. I don't know what happens when it takes over. Ryan stood and began pacing. You're not just a patient. You're carrying something every government wants, and they'll keep sending people to get it. Or kill it. Kayla looked at Leary. That's why I ran. Not to save myself, but to save her. Ryan's chest ached. He remembered battles from long ago, families torn apart, children crying in smoke and fire. He couldn't let that happen again. He walked back to the console and saved all her data on a locked drive. Leary tugged his sleeve. Can you take it out of her? She asked. The bad thing in her blood? Ryan looked down at her. I don't know, but I'm going to try. He opened a drawer and pulled out a case labeled Neural Isolation Capsule for containing living biotech. It was illegal, but it might work. Before he could start, the screen beeped. New alert. Multiple aircraft approaching. Hostile energy signatures detected. Ryan looked at Kayla. We have one chance, he said. If I remove it, you might die. If I don't, they'll never stop chasing you. Kayla took Leary's hand and kissed it. I'm not scared to die, she said. I'm only scared of losing her. Ryan picked up the injector and whispered, then let's make sure that never happens. A cold silence settled inside the ship. Kael sat up on the medbed, her breathing steady now. Leary curled up beside her, holding tightly to her mother's side, as if afraid she might vanish again. Ryan stood at the console, watching the radar. Dots appeared on the screen fast, organized, moving in from 3 directions. Not locals. Not scavengers. Military. And they were coming straight for them. He tapped the console and zoomed in. 4 aircraft, light armored, fast, perfect for extraction. Missions. They're not here to ask questions, Ryan muttered. Kayla looked up. her glowing eyes dimmer now. "You should leave," she said. "You helped us enough." Ryan turned, jaw clenched. "I don't leave patients or children." She shook her head. "You don't know what they'll do to you if they catch you with me." "Yes, I do," he said simply. "I've seen what happens to people who run from secrets." He opened a weapons locker and tossed a compact rifle onto the table. His hand hovered over a small black case, the neural capsule he had prepared earlier. Inside that case, if he could extract the living virus from Kella's blood, he might save her. But it would take everything he had. The screen blinked again. 20 minutes until contact. Time was running out. He rushed to the med bed and activated the prep sequence. Kayla lay back without protest. "What are you doing?" Leary asked, gripping his coat. "You said she'd be okay." "She will," he said. "But I need to pull something dangerous out of her. It'll hurt. She might pass out, but it's the only way." Kayla looked at him. "If it starts to fight, you don't stop. Finish it, no matter what I say." Ryan nodded once. "I will." He injected her with a mild paralytic agent, just enough to keep her still, not to knock her out. He needed her awake. As the machine began scanning deeper into her veins, Ryan connected the capsule to the neural interface. A soft glow surrounded Kala's chest as the extraction started. She gritted her teeth, her hands trembling. Then it began, screams not from her mouth, but from inside her body. Ryan froze. He had heard many sounds in war, but never one like this. It was like something alive was being pulled from its home. The black veins returned, spreading across Kayla's arms and neck. Her eyes snapped open, glowing white-hot now. Ryan gripped the extractor. "Stay with me, Kayla. It's almost out." But then Kayla's voice changed. She whispered. And it wasn't her voice anymore. "Stop, you're killing me." Ryan's hand trembled. He looked into her eyes, clouded, distant. It was like she wasn't in control. The virus was speaking through her. "Let me live," it begged. "We can be gods," Leary screamed. "Don't listen to it. That's not my mom." Ryan clenched his jaw and forced the final command. The lights flashed. The glow turned sharp. Pop. Inside the capsule. The virus was caught. Trapped. Kayla gasped and collapsed. The veins faded. Her body went limp. Ryan placed his fingers on her neck. One beat. Then another. She was alive. He sealed the capsule and locked it into a containment box, but he had no time to breathe. Alert. Enemy ships landing nearby. Outside, the soft hum of engines touched the frozen ground. Then came footsteps. Dozens. Ryan picked up his blaster. "Get ready, Leary. Hide again. You know where." Leary shook her head, crying. "I don't want to leave her." Ryan placed a hand on her cheek. "She needs you safe. And she needs me standing here when they break down that door." Kayla stirred, her voice soft. "Thank you for giving me back control." Ryan didn't reply. He stood by the door, a human doctor, a half-dead alien mother, and one small child against trained killers. But Ryan wasn't afraid, because he wasn't just protecting strangers anymore. He was protecting his family. Asterisk. The ship was too quiet. Ryan could hear the ticking of the wall panel, the slow hum of the backup generator, and the soft, almost silent breathing of Kayla, still weak but alive. But outside? Silence. That was worse than footsteps. Because silence meant planning, surrounding, waiting for the perfect strike. Ryan stood near the door, holding his blaster low but ready. His other hand held a tiny remote, the trigger for the ship's emergency defense traps. They had one chance, one mistake, and it was over. He looked back at Leary, who was tucked beside her mother. She had a small backpack now. Just one. Inside it, Ryan had packed food, heat packs, and a tracking beacon. "Leary," Ryan said gently, "if I tell you to run, you grab your mother's hand and go through the lower hatch. Follow the blue line underground until you see sunlight. Then hit the beacon." Leary's lip trembled. But what if you're not behind us? Ryan gave her a small, brave smile. Then I'll be right in front. Suddenly Dash thumped. The metal outside shifted. A soft hiss escaped the side vent. They were coming. Ryan pressed a button. Clank. Metal shutters locked into place over the windows. The hallway dimmed to red lights. The ship was now a fortress. He whispered, "Let's see how good you're training." The attackers used something sharp. A cutting beam lit the edges of the main door. Ryan aimed his blaster at the entry point. He had loaded it with stun rounds, non-lethal, but powerful. "Come on," he whispered. "Step inside." The door finally blew open. Smoke. Three figures moved in, quick and silent. Dressed in black armor. Ryan fired. Zap. 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 One fell instantly. The second ducked but hit a tripwire. Boom. A small pulse mine blasted him back. The third aimed at Ryan, but Ryan was faster. He rolled to the side and shot the blaster from the man's hands. But more were coming. Too many. Ryan slammed the hallway door shut and locked it. He ran back to the med-bay. Kael. A was trying to sit up. Her hand trembled. "You should leave me," she said, voice hoarse. "Save her. Save yourself." Ryan shook his head. "No one gets left behind." "I'm slowing you down. You're her mother," Ryan snapped. "And she's not losing another parent." Kala's eyes filled with tears. "Can you walk?" She nodded slowly. He helped her up. Leary took her other side, holding tight. They moved to the back hatch. Outside the ship, the enemy had circled around. Ryan could see them on the radar, closing in fast. "Open tunnel gate," he ordered the AI. Tunnel hatch unlocked. "Escape route active." He turned to Kayla and Leary. "Go now." "I'll hold them," Leary cried out. "No, you promised." "I did," Ryan said, "and I keep my promises." He placed something in Leary's hand. It was his dog tag. "If I don't come back, you keep this. And you remember that one human fought the whole galaxy just to protect you." Leary shook her head. "You're coming with us." Ryan smiled. Then the floor above shook. They were breaking in. Kayla pulled Leary toward the tunnel. "We'll be waiting." As they disappeared into the tunnel below, Ryan turned and faced the corridor. One man, one hallway, 10 enemies, and nothing left to lose. He stepped forward and whispered, "Come get her. If you can." Smoke rolled through the hallway. Ryan's shirt was torn. Blood ran down his arm. The metal floor was covered in dust and scorch marks. Blaster fire had stopped for now. He stood alone, heart pounding, gun shaking in his hand. And yet, he smiled, because behind him, the back hatch was closed, sealed, and Kayla and Leary were gone, safe in the escape tunnel below. He had done his part. Footsteps echoed. Slow, heavy. A tall figure stepped through the smoke, and like the others, not a soldier, not a gunman, a commander. He wore no helmet. His skin was gray, his eyes cold like steel. His voice calm. "You gave us quite a show, human. But this ends now." Ryan pointed his weapon at him. "You're not taking her," the commander chuckled. "She's not yours to protect. She's a threat. You don't even know what lives inside her." "I do," Ryan said. "I saw it. I pulled it out. I faced it. Then you know what it can do." "I also know she fought it," Ryan said. "She didn't become a monster. She stayed a mother." The commander's smile faded. "You think this is about safety?" he said. "This is about control. We created something perfect, and she stole it." Ryan's grip tightened. "You didn't create anything perfect. You created something alive. And you tortured it." He fired. Zap. The commander ducked, rolled forward, and tackled Ryan hard. The blaster flew from Ryan's hand. They fought hand to hand, crashing into the wall, fists slamming against armor and flesh. Ryan was fast, but the commander was stronger. He slammed Ryan against the wall and growled, "Last chance. Where is she?" Ryan spat blood. "Gone. Somewhere you'll never touch her. The commander raised a blade energy sharp, glowing red. Ryan reached into his pocket and clicked the final trigger. Kathum! A shockwave exploded from the wall panel. A hidden charge, his last defense. The blast threw both of them apart. When Ryan opened his eyes, he was on the floor. The commander was gone. Silence returned. Then, a voice. Ryan, are you there? It was Kella's voice, coming through the ship's comms. He crawled to the console, coughing. I'm here. I see your vitals. You're hurt. Just a scratch, he lied. Leary's voice came through next. We're outside. But we don't see you. Ryan looked around the ruined hallway, then at the blaster, then at the ceiling. He closed his eyes. You two need to run. Find the beacon point. I'll join you soon. Leary whispered. You said you'd be in front. Ryan smiled weakly. Then I better start moving. He pushed himself up, step by step, pain in every bone, but still he walked. Hours later, Snow had stopped. The sky was soft orange sunrise over a frozen world. Kayla sat on a rock, holding Leary close. Her eyes watched the distant hill, where the escape tunnel ended. And then a shadow appeared, limping, slow, but alive. Ryan, lir. I jumped up and ran, screaming his name. He dropped to his knees as she hugged him tightly. Kayla followed, tears in her eyes. You made it, she whispered. He looked up at them both. Of course I did. I'm your lifeline, remember? Kayla knelt beside him. You saved us. Ryan shook his head. No, you saved yourselves. I just gave you a chance. Leary handed back his dog tag. You forgot this. He smiled. Keep it. It's yours now.